Yeah.
I'm curious, what did you have in mind with the movie? I'm like,
Yeah, actually,
over here.
no, it was great. We actually are having a really good conversation. So I don't even think we have time, honestly. I mean, I'm just pretty much going to get the call with you in a minute because I don't want you to be late to what you're doing. But I kind of created this, so it's kind of interesting. So like I've been following with LinkedIn, as you know. I'm still military, and I actually um, uh, I just I'm putting together my packet to go officer, and I am studying for my second round of my officer test. Air Force, you have to study. You have to take an officer, their own version of the ASVAB, but for officers. First time I took it, I actually studied my ass off to pass high on math and arithmetic reasoning, the really hard part that everybody kind of fails at. I passed that part flying colors, but I didn't study for vocabulary. And so, ironically, I was like, I can read a book. Why can't I do vocabulary? I don't need to study for that. And I failed at that portion, so now I got to retest. I'm like, okay, obviously, I got to read a book a few more times and understand the grammars and catch those. But I mean, uh, I'm working on the officer route, and this YouTube thing that I'm trying to just have fun with and just take my time with. It's actually like a nostalgic way of like, so you watch films and you have a question with those films, and you got to find a way to like pair that with your own childhood, because I find it interesting what we learned from vicariously the things when we were kids. I think I think we kind of dabbled that in last time too, like
Yeah.
these odd little things you pick up on, just you don't even realize.
What they stick with you. I mean, music and lyrics and movies, different things kind of come back into your conscious as an adult, and they ring differently than when they did when we were a kid because we're more attuned to pick those things up, like some of the nuances, some of the jokes, some of the lyrics that when you were a kid, you're just singing along, and as an adult, you're like, oh, that's what that means. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what they did there, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It really is funny, and it's good.
I think they're all great learning sources. So I'm curious, of the movies that I gave you, were there any that you didn't recognize?
No, actually, there was the
History of the World.
No, it wasn't that one. Actually, I do recognize that one. I like that. That was a what's the meaning behind every single one of those movies you had? The one that I didn't recognize was The Sunshine. I think I saw a trailer for it, but I never watched it.
I love Little Miss Sunshine. So Little Miss Sunshine, it's a dysfunctional movie, but it's like the cutest thing ever. So they have this little girl, and she wants to be a beauty pageant queen, but she's a little bit awkward. Her grandfather is just thrown off, does hard drugs. Her father is kind of a neurotic mess. The brother hates everybody. They have the uncle, Steve Carell, who he tried to off himself. And the whole premise is they rally around this little girl who wants to be a beauty pageant queen, and they take her, they all family goes on a road trip in a clunky van. It breaks down, chaos ensues, especially chaos with grandfather. But the ending is the cutest part. Like when they get to the point that they get to the beauty pageant, she does the most awkward thing ever as homage to her grandfather, but it's the funniest thing ever. And like everybody's trying to get her off stage, but then the family finally rallies around her and gets up on stage and starts awkwardly dancing with her too. And so it's really cute. It's just one of those really quirky things.
Kind of inspires you.
Oh yeah. And so I have this picture of like way back in the day. It was in Colorado. My mom is in pigtails and bobby socks. My dad has a perm and shorts. My great-grandparents are in the picture. I'm in the front of the picture. Now, I'm probably about 3 or 4. I'm in the underwear. I mean, because again, I was 3 or 4, and this was in the 70s. But I have on like this bright yellow flowery child shirt.
Oh, that's like the front cover of the movie.
It looked exactly like it. So I'll have to dig up.
I'll say I recognize it.
It's like I'm in front of them like I'm the star, and they're all in the back with the bobby socks and the pigtails and the perm, looking super awkward. And I've always loved that picture. I was like, that's just the funniest thing. And I've always felt like Little Miss Sunshine, like even when things are bad, like I'm usually that always,
Yeah.
I don't want to be toxic positivity because I don't think of myself as that person that's like, yay, everything's okay and it's beautiful. All that. I'm definitely not that person. But I'm usually like, even when things are crummy, going, all right, well, that sucked. How do we re-steer this and get back to good? Because we can't stay in this downer mood forever, or we're just going to go under. So I think
Yeah.
that's why I love that movie so much. And then History of the World is so random, but that's like literally one of my most quotable movies ever. It's not always politically correct, but I really have an appreciation for Mel Brooks. I don't
Hmm.
seem to think, I think he's on the opposite side of the fence where he's lacerating every bad bias or every bad behavior by highlighting it and showing absolutely how ridiculous some of
Yeah.
those biases are. I think he's just shining a spotlight on it, but I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's this and that." I'm like, I hold the perspective. I think it's totally opposite of what some people think. I think he's trying to make fun of it and get rid of the biases. Is my opinion on some of his movies. So,
Yeah. That's a very rare and unique thing, actually. I find it kind of interesting because I think that's something you and I both share together. Is like whatever situation it is, you kind of take a humor to it. You're like, all right, let's figure out how we can get past this now. And most people don't really have that anymore. They just rely on ChatGPT to do the work for them, or even
I do love ChatGPT. I mean, it brings a lot of brainstorming and perspectives to things, but
makes it easier too.
it does in a lot of ways. But it's also a rabbit hole and it can detract people. But
Yeah.
I don't know. My creativity from an era in which I grew up and just even the different music I grew up with, when storytelling, like we listened to country music a lot because that's what my parents listened to. But those songs from like the 70s and the 80s and that era of country, it was all
Yeah.
literally storytelling. It was like you get an entire story in 3 minutes or less. So
Hmm.
I'm definitely that person that listens to the lyrics, tries to extract the lyrics or the meaning of it, and realizes that a lot of music today doesn't have a
It
story.
felt so much better when you would go on to MTV or VH1 and you put on that playlist and you just see the music videos. And like, gosh, that was you had to live through that era.
It was an extra level of creativity that I still watch a lot of the 80s. And I laugh and I'm like, these people were thrown off. But I was like, I love it too because I'm like, the level of creativity and imagination to bring those thought processes to life before CGI was a thing, before AI
Yeah.
was really a thing. I was like, people really had to sit on that process for a very long time and play to figure out how to bring these things to life. And sometimes I think there's too much of an easy button now, so we might miss
Yeah.
some of the benefits that the manual mode and having to just figure out how to change the Rubik's Cube around without just peeling off the stickers. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Or just have your own little human touch into it. So I was reading about how I don't know if you are a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
I do like Lord of the
Uh, so I was reading about how that whole thing became to be and how many cards they had stacked against them.
Right.
And I didn't realize during that time there was a lot of flops on movies similar to theirs. And they had everything stacked against them. Everybody was like, "We're not going to fund this movie." All these other flopped.
Right.
And then just so much as the Peter Jackson himself, like he was not even doing any big time films. He was doing a very small budgeted films
Did you
before that.
ever see his horror movie Bad Taste? Because
I did.
that's the funniest juxtaposition. When
Yeah.
you're like, wait, the Lord of the Rings guy
Made that.
this movie over here. But to me, that's interesting. It's like
Yeah.
Kevin Smith with Clerks, and then he went off.
I love that.
Some
Yep.
of his other things he did, but I'm like, well, it
Mallrats.
shows you diverseness in it, which I appreciate because I don't think, or maybe I can't assume for everybody. I want to speak for myself. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. I don't want to get boxed
Yeah.
into a corner of you're just this or you're just that. I was like, I
Yeah.
want to write a book. Maybe it's a children's book. Maybe it's an adult book. And then maybe I want to flip to horror. And then maybe I want to go back to feel good because I like all of these things. Just,
And why not, right?
I mean, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, I mean, we all have flops. We all have failures. So we don't have to hit everything out of the park. You know, it's just,
Yeah.
to me, it's an experimentation. And you see what works, and then you see what doesn't work, and then you try to do more of the things that you like that works. You know, what you
Yeah.
like is important too, because sometimes I think that we're good at certain things that we don't love. Like, even in jobs and roles, I can be very manual and be a huge documentation specialist, but that doesn't always mean I want to be behind the scenes doing that all the time. I like creating. So it's figuring out, well, how do I get good enough at all of these to keep a job, keep stable, keep the income coming in, diversify, but then move the needle more towards being very good at the things that bring me joy, you know?
I get that. That makes sense.
Yep. So,
I'm not gonna keep you on. It's already 2:34. I know you got a traffic, so.
you ready?
Oh
Are
man.
you ready for
Yeah.
Christmas?
I guess so. Yeah.
It's-
I'm not looking forward to our schedule. We're gonna be working 12-hour shifts, so I'll be working midnights. So I mean,
on
but I get the whole.
not on Christmas
Yeah.
Day, huh? Yeah.
No, hopefully not. Yeah. No, there's always a plane that needs to fly though, so I actually get I have to work New Year's week. So yeah. But finding some fun in that. Man, I really enjoyed talking to you, but dang, I don't want to keep you on. So
We
maybe
can figure this out. We'll figure out a time to, I guess. So once you get past the New Year stuff too, and that'll work better for me too. But you want to figure out another time in January. Once you get out of New Year's, we'll just kind of brainstorm on a time that works.
yeah. I'm gonna let you go, so this way you don't actually run late.
All right. I appreciate it.
So
I'll see you later.
yeah.
I hope you'll have a great Christmas.